And it's funny you say that. And it's funny that you say that she bad because that's kind of what the download gonna be about. You feel me? There's no reason for you to complain because you're in control, right? We think that there's a government in control, but there's nobody in control. You are governing yourself. You feel me? So I appreciate you for saying that because that sparked what I want to talk about today. And as usual, and as usual, hold on. And as usual, this download is inspired by the most honorable prophet, Eligio of Christ. You feel me? So free God, three God. I love myself. So with that being said, we gonna wait till hold on. We gonna wait till we get three digits in the room. It's only two digits. We gonna wait till we get three digits in the room. But I like that. No complaints. We in the age of information. We in the age of Aquarius. The age of truth. There's no reason for you to be complaining because there's no excuse for you not to be gaining the truth and applying the truth to your reality and the truth to your life. There's no reason for you not to be asking questions right now in your reality so that you can unravel and decipher what's going on in Babylon, what's going on inside of the system that we exist in. But we about to break it down. We about to break it down because the system that we live in has programmed us and made us feel as though it's not even no them either. It's really you, your lower self. But the system that we live in within this illusion has programmed us to believe that we are under the control of something else. But you're not under the control of the government. If you look at what's going on inside the government today, look at what's going on in Parliament Serbia right now. They was letting off smoke bombs and all type of shit inside of the courtroom or inside of their little meeting room. Right? There's tension inside government offices. Nobody's over you. There is no government. The government is falling and folding right in front of your face, right before your eyes. You don't even know it. There is nobody governing you, right? Like Chi teaches us, there are hierarchies to government, right? Because truly the government is God. God is the devil in disguise, and God is running the government. We are living inside of God's dream. We're living inside the dream of Eligio Bishop. We're inside of God's mind, right? And the devil is God in disguise. So the powers that be are, or our lower self, are the version of us that's being used to tempt us, that's being used to test us, to see if we are in alignment with God or if we're going to go against the grain and be with Babylon, be a Babylonian, be a demon, right? But the government is essentially God. But within the hierarchies, in the illusion, right? Like Chief teaches us, the hierarchies to the government is first you. You are your first government. You are your first government, right? Because you was portaled in and you came into reality as a cancer cell. You've been programmed to go against your natural essence from the jump. So you got the government's mentality. When you look at the word government, what do you see? Government, mental, all is mind. So your mind or your genetics, your DNA is being governed by Babylon, which is a program or a mentality that's based in ignorance, that's based in hell. Ignorance is not knowing itself, lack of knowledge, lack of awareness. And this is what we're basing ourselves in, and this is what we're governing ourselves. This is why we think that we're being governed by the government, because we subscribe to their programs and now we're being controlled and now we're being ruled subconsciously by them. But we don't even know. We don't notice it because your subconscious mind is running 95% of your reality. You're not conscious of what's going on. You're not conscious of what you was programmed with from age 0 to 7. You came into this world, somebody said, this was your nose. Put on a shirt. We're supposed to be wearing shoes. Cut your hair off. Wear makeup. Put on a wig. Relax your hair. Dye your hair. We came in and we put it into a straight lie. To our genetic code, our DNA, our genome being tampered with. Right? So you are your first government because you have been programmed with Babylon from birth. So you have to reprogram your mind, right? You have to start loving yourself and start vibrating at a higher frequency. That means that you have to start sacrificing what no longer serves you. Start to reprogram your subconscious mind. The way you eat, the way you listen to music, the way you watch TV programs, the way you watch movies, the people you hang around with, the buildings and community groups that you go hang in. All of this comes with you fighting the government within yourself first. Your lower self. You might have kids. You might have to, oh shit, to let go of the government within me. I gotta let go of these kids because these kids attached to my baby mama and they attached to the government. You see what I'm saying? So you are your first line. You are the first line, right? You pledged an allegiance to the United States of America from birth. Remember, from 5 years old to what, 12, 11 years old, niggas was standing up saying, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. This was a program. You've been programmed to be a cancer cell, to be a soldier in an entity that powers and empowers the very system that you think and believe that you're governed by. That's destroying you. But you're not being governed by it because they don't have the power if you take away your focus and your energy. If you take away your attention, then they can't govern you. They have no control over you. But it's us believing in the belief systems and the programs that we were given, which keeps us under the illusion of being governed by the government. So the first line of government is you. You are your own government. You're a cell made up of 50 trillions of other cells. You're a cell, right? Life is a expression of genetic code, right? We are all genes inside of the mind of God, inside of the mind of Eligio Bishop. We are all different codes or instructions to express life through, right? And you are a cell made up of 50 trillions of other cells. And the information or the instructions or the codes that you give your mind or that you give your avatar through your 5 senses, you're giving to the cells in your body. Remember, you're governing and you're the government to all the 50 trillions of cells inside of your body. So if the information or the codes, because life is genetic code, binary code, zeros and ones, we live in a simulation. If you're giving the cells in your body codes through your 5 senses from your environment that are based in ignorance, that are based in misinformation, that's based in lies, that's based in you going to get a job and going to work, that's based in, you see what I'm saying, you being a cancer cell, then your cells have no choice but they're under the control of your mind. So your cells have no choice but to replicate the information and the codes that you sent it, and now it's going to express itself through those codes. But you're governing yourself through these programs that you're becoming one with. Understand what's going on. We got to understand what's going on, that you're not being governed by anybody. You're being governed by your belief system. You're being governed by you holding on to the belief system of Babylon, of your lower self. That's what's governing you. You're being governed by a lie. That's why you don't like your life. That's why you hate it. That's why you don't like doing what you're doing, because you've been programmed under misinformation. Your original genetic code has been tampered with and altered. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. But after you being the government, the next line of defense for the government, that the lower self, that the devil has as an obstacle for you elevating and getting to a higher version of yourself, is going to be your immediate family or your immediate biological family. Whoever you are immediate around, that's who is going to be the second line of government in your reality. Because you have to think, we all are cells inside the body of God. We are all cells inside of Babylon. We all portaled into iniquity. We all were programmed with misinformation and to go against the very essence of what we are, to go against God. So you got to remember, your biological family members or your immediate people that you're around, they got the government programming in them too. Yeah, they on the government cheese too. They on the government cheese too. You feel me? They got the same poison, the same virus that you got, the same misinformation that you got. So after you done cleansed yourself, you done isolated yourself, you done stop listening to certain music, stop listening to certain teachings, certain TV shows, stop eating a certain food. You done woke up. You done cleansed yourself all the way. You done connected your melanin to the planet. You done tapped in the chief. You done tapped into Eligio the Christ. You done tapped into God. Now you becoming awoke in a dream. Now what? Now you're around your immediate family, your biological family, or your created family, your sons, your daughters, your husband, your wife. Yeah, this is your immediate group now. This is the next line of the government. Now watch this. Since they've been programmed with Babylon, even before you woke up, you were still around them. They watched you go through your transitioning phase, but now after you done woke up, you want to help them, because that's just what we want to do. After we take in information that changed our lives, we want to help our people. We want to help our family because we're pack animals. We want to do this together. It's a group. We're a unit. That's how the cells in your body work, and that's how human beings work. So now you want to teach them, and now you want to talk to them, and now you want to get them the truth and wake them up. But everybody not meant to be woke. They got programmed by the government as well. They have the lower self within them as well. So now you trying to. I remember this. I remember this like this was today. I first wake up to Chief, 2017. Boom. Immediately, all the food out the refrigerator. I'm eating clean. Only fruits, only potatoes, only not even cooking no brown rice or nothing at the time, but only fruits and potatoes and vegetables and seeds and nuts. I was on one. I'm starting to lose weight. I'm starting to look a little bit more skinnier. You feel me? But I'm feeling good. My mind is lit. I'm lit because I'm changing, and the information that I've been given from God, from Chief, is literally starting to change how I'm perceiving reality, how I feel, how I look. And shit, I want to help y'all. So now I'm trying to help my people. Now I'm trying to put them on to the vegan wraps. Now I'm trying to put them on to eating holistically. But no, you eating rabbit food. Oh shit, I forgot that y'all under the same program. I'm gonna eat this pork right here. They want to, it's joke. They want to joke and kind of deflect because what you're doing is showing them what they need to be doing. And I remember this like it's clear as day that you're going to be fighting the government within your family members because they not going to want to change. Everybody, especially if you the one who woke up in your family, everybody not meant to get the truth. Everybody not meant to wake up and hear the message that Chief has brought to humanity. Everybody not meant to get the message. Everybody's not chosen. But if you are chosen, you probably the only one in your family that's going to understand and hear the truth and want to change. But your family members are going to be a test, right? The devil, your lower self, because they've been programmed by the government. And the government's job is to do what? They're going against this. They're going against nature. So your family is going to want to go against the truth. Nature is truth. And you start to get in tune with nature. You done tapped in the Chief. Now you want to start sleeping in the tent outside. You grounding. You getting connected to the earth. They not going to be on that shit because the truth is not in them. It was meant for you to get. But you going to have to fight that within them. And when I say fight that, I'm not saying like fight your biological family and make them feel bad for what they doing or how they living, because you got to remember, have compassion. You too just came out of what the fuck they were just doing. You too were just doing the fuck shit that they was doing. So be easy, have compassion. But when I say fight, I'm saying like you're gonna have to fight or resist the temptation for you to want to help them, because you can only help somebody as much as they want to help themselves. You feel me? Like Chief teaches, if a grown motherfucker don't want no advice and don't ask for it, don't give it to him. Stay in your lane. And that's exactly what's happening. I remember trying to force my people to get on what I was on, and I'm just throwing it down their throat, convicting them. And that kind of starts to ruin the relationship, even though the relationship is not relatable because y'all not on the same frequency no more. But you still want to be respectful for your people because they are you. You feel me? When you asleep, you don't want somebody to come and just ruin your whole perception and shatter your whole perception of reality if that's not what you wanted. Yo. You say what? Hold on, y'all. So yeah, what I was saying. So you're gonna have to fight your temptation and resist the will to want to help them when they don't want to be helped, when they don't want to hear the truth. They not going to be trying to hear that shit. They going to be in pork in front of you. I remember going to a little cookout that my immediate family was having. Like my pops was there, all type of shit. Like these niggas got a whole pig on the little rotisserie. Like I'm talking about a grown big ass pig on a rotisserie. And I'm looking at everybody like, shit, these niggas tripping. Like they already know I'm vegan and everything. Like my uncle cracking jokes on me. Like you used to have some weight on you. Now they used to call me mailman, right? The niggas told me that your name is Thin Man. I'm like, I'm gonna live longer than all y'all niggas. It's cool, but you feel me? They want to make it seem like what you doing is not the right thing, and what they're doing is the right thing because they have cognitive dissonance. Because through you changing and through you starting to become the government within yourself, you begin to convict them through your actions. And when people are shown the truth, it's either they gonna go with the truth and adapt to it and apply that truth, or they gonna have resistance to that truth because they don't want to change, because they stuck in their ignorance and they lost mentally. So you're gonna have to fight the government within your biological family, within your immediate family, right? You might have to let go of your children that you had with your beautiful husband, or that you had with your beautiful wife, because you done program your kids. They 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, 12 years old now, but you programmed them to be a battery for the system. They already been programmed. So now you cleaning up your act, but now they're still living in their lower self. How you gonna be around that? Now you want to help, but they gonna want to do their own thing, just like you wanted to do your own thing. So we're gonna have to make choices, and we're gonna have to make sacrifices. That's the fight that you're gonna have, is separating yourself from your lower self, separating yourself from your immediate family, from your biological family, because they don't want to let go of Babylon within them. And remember, if you're around six smart people, you're gonna become, you feel me? It's intelligent to assume that you're gonna become the seventh smart person. If you hanging around your biological family and they're eating pork and they're eating cows and you feel me? They're disconnected from nature and from God all the way. They working jobs, they going out on the weekends, partying, kicking it. Man, you're gonna eventually fall back in with that, because it's your subconscious mind. Is ruling you. You're being controlled by your subconscious mind through the genetic information or the genetic codes or electrical signals that you bring into your five senses. You become one with that. So if you begin to keep vibrating around them, then you're going to start to go back to sleep. You're going to start to get sleepy and go back into being unconscious. So you the first government. 2, your family, your biological family, the immediate people that's in your environment is going to be your second battle when it comes to you getting over the government. And then after that, it's going to be your people, your community, right? Like she teaches us. The people on Bigo, the people in the entertainment industry that you see all on social media promoting dumb shit, promoting us to go get money and be rappers and degrade our women and degrade the black man. You feel me? That's all Babylon. That's all the government's doing. That's all product of the lower self, of the devil, of the evil one, the one that lives against God. So you're going to be up against that, because you're going to feel alone. And I remember feeling alone. I remember trying to go to my biological family and my immediate people, and they not understanding me. They just kind of laughing at me and making me feel like I'm not doing the right thing. Then I go into the community. I go into my neighborhood. Can't hang with these niggas no more. They think I'm better than them now. Now niggas want to fight. Now niggas is testosterone going. Now it's competition. It's crazy now. Now, you feel me? We got the internet, right? Like she teaches, age of Aquarius, networking. We have the internet for us to network on, for us to find like-minded individuals that think like us and that's on the same frequency, at least similarly than us, so that we can communicate with and build with and connect. Because it do get lonely out this bitch when you the only one that know the truth in your family. But even then, the people that you connect with on the internet, they still have the government within them. So you're gonna be up against the government within them. And then after that, you feel me? You see how the people did, how they did our Messiah? The people had Babylon programmed in their mind so much that they denied their own grace. They denied their own Savior and handed him directly over to the authorities and tried to destroy the broadcast, tried to destroy the truth, because they didn't want to wake up and change. They didn't want to go through that death. You see what I'm saying? And then after that, you got the people that's in position to put the people in our reality that can control us and manipulate us, right? You got the powers that be that put people in position to do what? Spray chemtrails down on the earth, right? People that put nanotechnology or harmful microRNAs inside of the food, inside of the water, harmful chemicals and purifications inside of the water, right? The sneaky, slick subliminal messages that they put inside the TV and the commercials, the billboards. All this is a part of nanotechnology, because nanotechnology is the science of or engineering of manipulating or yeah, it's the science of manipulating or engineering something on a nano scale. That's what nanotechnology is. That's how the powers that be that you feel that are the government, that's how they are governing you. They're governing you through nanotechnology. How do you control the mind of a cell? You are a cell made up of 50 trillions of cells. So how are you being controlled if it's not physically? Because nobody's in control of you. Look at what you're doing right now, reflection. Look, what are you doing right now? Who's in control of you? Nobody. Nobody's telling you what to do right now. You're under your own government right now. Nobody's over you. You're in control of you right now, reflection. So how does the so-called government control you? How do they control the minds of the people? Well, you have to understand, like she teaches, we have to study biology, astrology, quantum physics. We got to go into science and understand the detail of reality to truly break down the television is one of them. Absolutely. Television is absolutely one of them. Because remember, as a cell inside of the body of God, right? Nature is the construct of the simulation that we live in inside of God's dream, inside of the Eligio Bishop's dream. Inside of God's body as a cell, remember, epigenetics. Epi means above genes, above the genetics. Your environment is what's regulating and controlling your perception and your genetic expression on a biological level. Right? So what does that mean? That means that as a cell, for them to control you, they must control you on a microscopic level, on a nano level, on a nano scale. That's how you are being controlled. Your environment, right? Remember, you're just a brain, a mind. Your brain is the processor. You're just a mind receiving electrical signals through your 5 senses from your environment, through what you can hear, taste, smell, touch, and feel. So whatever you can take in through your environment, through your 5 senses, is programming the cells inside of your body, and that's controlling the perception or the mind, which is the DNA. Like she teaches, the DNA is the molecular blueprint of a cell. That's the most essential part of it. The mind is the DNA. So those signals that you take in, or those codes that you take in, alter your genetic code and alters how you perceive reality and how the cells in your body are going to express their genes, express themselves, right? You're going to be controlled through a nanoscale, on a nanoscale, through nanotechnology, right? Through the nano world. You have to remember that this is just a simulation, right? As above, so below. Life is nothing but genetic code. What's going on in the heavens, in the 4th dimension, in the cosmos, is being projected down here biologically on Earth, right? But the biological realm, the microscopic realm, is the 2nd dimension. We are in the 3rd dimension right now. But this is a simulated environment. This is all a hologram. This is all a holographic reality. So we are being projected in this reality from where? From the 2nd dimension, from the microscopic reality. So if you want to control the hologram or the projection of this reality, what must one do? Well, one must begin to govern and control and mess with the nano world, the microscopic realm, the genes, the cells. That's how we're being controlled and we're being ruled. Our genetics, our genetic code is being altered through nanotechnology, through what we take in through our 5 senses. And this is how we're being governed. And we know that what's in our environment, because everything is Babylon, what's in our environment is set up to go against God. It's set up to go against your highest version. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that nobody's governing me. Nobody's in control of me. God is in control. You feel me? God is in control. But you are living in the mind of God, and God wants to be you and play you through your astrological program. Your astrological program is your genes. It is your genome. This is the genetic code that you are here to get in tune with. Your astrological natal birth chart is what governs you truly, because that is what God, the thoughts of God that God is using to experience His creation through you. So we have to understand that we're nothing but a genetic code, and that we're being governed by the codes that we take in, by the morals and principles and the values that we take in, the knowledge and information that we take in. What morals and values is Babylon being governed by? Well, Babylon is ruled by the devil. The devil's job is to do what? To kill, steal, and destroy. So that's what humanity has been being ruled and governed by. We've been being governed by a mentality of mammon, of a mentality of evil, of ignorance. And this is the time where we are to get out of that, right? We are in the age of Aquarius, the age of truth, the age of I know, right? Aquarius, the phrase for Aquarius is I know, knowledge itself. I know who I am God, and you are God, and we are projections of God's mind, figments of the Eligio Bishop's mind, and we are here to get in tune with the dreamer. But in order for us to get in tune with the dreamer, we must begin to understand who we are and what we are and where we are at, and break down reality to the molecule, right? Because in order for us to understand what reality is or what life is, we have to be able to break it down objectively. We like to stay in our subjectivity and how things make us feel and our personal opinions and prejudice and bias about it. But the fact of the matter is that the truth is not subjective. The truth is factual and it's actual, and it must be broken down logically. Chief said that humanity, we all so caught up in feminism. We all so caught up in expressing ourselves. The expression is the feminine aspect. The mind, the thinking part is the masculine part. We all need to start to think more logically, because once we start to think more logically, we will begin to start to ask more questions. When you ask questions, what does questions do? Questions take you on a quest. It takes you on a trip from point A to point B for you to gain knowledge of self, for you to gain understanding, which is love. So be mindful. You're governing yourself. Nobody's governing you. Appreciate that, big angel. Nobody's governing you, reflection. You in control. You're in control. But it's gonna come with you starting to reprogram your mind. You're gonna have to start to reprogram the cells in your body for you to become the controlling force and the compelling force that's governing your cells in your body. Appreciate that, big angel. I appreciate that, reflection. You're gonna have to reprogram your genes. You gotta remember, in biology, Bruce Lipton done already put us on. Chieftain showed us Bruce Lipton before the mainstream then put Bruce Lipton out. Bruce Lipton, a Caucasian light worker that breaks down some of the lies and some of the glitches inside of Babylon, that breaks the spell, that breaks the illusion that we are in. Remember, it's called the central dogma. They were teaching us that we were victims of our genes. Remember, we're a genetic code. They said that we were victims of our genes. But the genes, they said we were victim of the genes that we inherited from our mother and our father. But that's not true. That's not true. They was teaching us that the chain went from DNA to RNA to the protein, which means that your gene was the governing force over what you was. Whatever inherited thought form or patterns of thinking and ways of being that you inherited from your parents, that's what you was a victim of. That's what's just gonna run your whole life. That's not true. That's misinformation. That is a lie. That is a bad genetic code. That is a bad genetic code. When the truth of the matter is, the software update is that the DNA is not doing anything because it's the blueprint of the cell. It's not doing anything. It just lays out the instructions for the genes to use to create cells and proteins. That's it. But the environmental signals are sending irregulatory proteins to the DNA, and the DNA is translating those signals to the genes. And the genes are translating that into your biology, into your genetic expression. So this means that the environment actually played the sole governing force on what happened to your gene expression, to how you were perceiving reality. Yes, the environmental signals, boom, that you received through your five senses, those electrical signals came in, boom. They were translated into your DNA, into your biology, and now this is what you're governed by. This is the information that you're governed by. That's what's really going on. Science was teaching us, and they still teaching us today. Man, get your kid out of that school, my nigga. Sis, get your kid out of that school. Bruh, get your kid out of that school. They teaching your baby to be a cancer cell. They teaching your baby to be a battery. They teaching your baby to use its melanin as a battery to power this very system that's inevitably going to, boom, detonate. It's going to detonate. They still teaching us in science that, the central dogma, if you go look at what a central dogma is beliefs based in religious persuasion and not scientific facts. This is what our understanding of our genetic expression and how we were being ruled genetically came from. It came from subjectivity. It came from misinformation. This is incomplete. This is a fallacy. This is a theory that they brought up that we've been running off of. And you see how we believed in that information and that lie, that's what was governing you. Your belief systems are what's governing you. But what are you believing in? What codes and what information are you putting inside your processor to believe in, to express your reality through? If that shit not based in the 5 sciences, it's 9 times out of 10, 99.999 times out of 100, it's misinformation and it's not leading you to truth. It's not leading you to nature. It's not leading you to nature's boy. You feel me? And guess what? When you start to find out and you start to cleanse yourself and understand that you are the one that's governing yourself and that the people around you are the government because they've been programmed by the government, you're going to isolate yourself and you're going to put in the right information. And what you're going to understand is that, you feel me? You God. And then you're going to come to the understanding that, oh shit, the Christ was telling us, just like it's saying John 10:34. Didn't it say in y'all laws, it wasn't there written that I said ye were gods? Ye are gods? Yeah, because God is in control of the government. God is the government. But you are God. You are a part of God's mind. You are a part of God's imagination. You are part of the mind of the Eligio Bishop. You cannot be separate from God. So you are in control. You are the control governing force of your reality. You feel me? Other than the dreamer, you know? Other than Christ himself, who knows the complete awareness and the complete breakdown of reality. And that's why it's always praise and reverence to Chief, because as the dreamer and as dreamies, we are all dreamies. This is the dreamer and we are all dreamies. As dreamies of the dreamer's reality, we have to acknowledge the genius. We have to acknowledge the resilience. We have to acknowledge the effort and the ability to discover and piece together the 5 sciences so that black people specifically, in all of humanity, but black people specifically, so that we can get the most greatest and most profound, complete understanding of what reality and what life is. All right, y'all. So reflect the light from my higher self, the most honorable prophet, Eligio of Christ, man. You are governing yourselves. You are the government. I love myself. Peace to the gods.